Hi, I'm Larry Schiller. Welcome to Unconventional Wisdom Radio. We're going to talk today about, I'm resigned today to talk about all the people who lost their job in 2012. There were a lot of interesting people around who had jobs at the beginning of the year who don't anymore. Joe Rodada did, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Joe, my apologies if not. He writes for HuffPost. He's the founder and CEO of the Forward Observer, and for the last 3 years at least, he's been doing this great blog on resignations. Well, of course, so I'm using his article as a source, and I'm checking the background material. David Petraeus resigned, of course, by showing, in his words, extremely poor judgment. I don't know, there are a lot of people who showed extremely poor judgment by having affairs. And CEOs and whatever, and in this country it seems like people lose their jobs for that, while in Europe they get promoted. You ever notice that? There's that guy DSK got this lawsuit whatever in New York with this maid, and the guy's living in a $30,000 a month apartment. Yeah, whatever. Petraeus is out of the job. There was this partner at the law firm of Sidley Austin that I got a kick out of. We think of lawyers as, a lot of different ways, and some people have this view of a lawyer as being just, money hungry and just wanting to do things for money, not caring about people, and emotional, amoral, if you will. So in a way, this resignation letter gives us hope, because here's a guy who wanted to be a lawyer for good reasons. He wanted to do good in the world, and it wasn't happening. He said he couldn't simultaneously meet the demands of career and family, and without criticizing those who've chosen lucre over progeny, he's going to leave the practice of law. Although his youngest child, he admits, is 24, so maybe it's a little late. Okay. I love this. He says, "I've made friendships at Sidley that I will treasure well into the first quarter of 2012. That's the quarter he resigned in, evidently. Okay. Here's a man who didn't love his job. Susan B. Komen, remember this? Karen Handel. I like that name. It's like either she's really got a grip on life or she's related to the composer. Well, she was the senior vice president for public policy of Susan B. Komen, and our memories are pretty short, so let me at least refresh mine. These were the folks who decided not to fund Planned Parenthood. And she was the one thrown under the bus by the board. She was pretty pissed off about it. When she resigned, she said, "Before I joined Komen, this decision about Planned Parenthood to defund it was, quote, fully vetted by every appropriate level in the organization." Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what she's saying in her resignation letter, including the board, and no objections were made to moving forward. When you're in PR, you get that, right? Oh, I love this one. Greg Smith. It's a great name. A lot of people have that name. But this Greg Smith worked at Goldman Sachs, one of probably several. I haven't checked that. He was there for 12 years. And he says, quote, and this resignation letter was published in the New York Times, "I can honestly say that the environment now is as toxic and destructive as I have ever seen it." Okay, Greg, he was hoping that might be a wake-up call to the board of directors. He's talking about making the client the focal point of business again. Great, all right. It's probably good advice, but I have a feeling they might be following it to some extent. Not a sustainable business model otherwise. Oh, Disney, not even Disney is immune from making bad business decisions. They had a chairman, Rich Ross, probably as many of those as there are Greg Smiths in the world. He resigned because, see, Disney came out with this movie called John Carter. Does anybody remember John Carr? It brings a tear to my eye. The movie just did so badly it lost $200 million. And he resigned. It's, kind of falling on your sword for Mr. Carter. What else do we have here? Oh, well, this guy Peter Doyle resigned. Just these people sometimes can't resist from letting people know how great a person the organization is losing because they're leaving. And then Peter wrote one of those resignation letters. See, what happened was he said, this European department of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, after 20 years of service, I'm ashamed to have had any association with the fund at all. Don't hold back, Peter. Tell us what you really think. He said, there are good salty people here, but this one is moving on. You might want to take care not to lose the others. There's an inherent contradiction in this, Peter. Like, if you're ashamed to have had any association with the fund at all, then the fund consists of people. Shouldn't they just fire everybody? You're leaving, But my favorite, and there's a lot here, but this is my favorite to close. There's a Chinese auto parts maker. This is his reason for leaving. Quote, the factory is small and the women are few. This guy is honest, transparent. It's too difficult to land a girlfriend here. Well, there could be other reasons. All right. Yeah, his supervisor got it because they have these little notes they put at the bottom. His supervisor wrote, don't blame others when you don't have game. It's your own fault you can't get a girl. That's China. Look, they're transparent, truth-seeking. We better watch out. Oh, well, Chinese journalists, evidently, according to Joe, debated the resignation letter's authority. No big surprise there. Well, I'm resigned to say it's the end of 2012 in just a couple of days. Thank you for watching. I'm Larry Schiller.